Joining me now is Andy Bowering. He is the chair and the interim CEO of Apollo Silver. Good to see you, sir.
Thank you very much for having me.
So let's start with just a snapshot of the company's assets. You've got Calico in California, and then you recently added Cinco de Mayo in Mexico.
Yeah, that's correct. If you put the whole thing together, it's and combine measured, indicated, inferred, and get equivalents from your gold deposits or gold resources. There's about 400 million ounces of silver in this company, silver equivalent, between California with our Calico asset in San Bernardino and the Cinco de Mayo asset in Chihuahua, Mexico, and both arguably mining jurisdictions. So
not insignificant.
Yeah,
that's a lot.
Yeah,
yeah, very good. All right, so you're working on this barite program at Calico, and you'd like to add this critical mineral to the updated resource estimate, correct?
Yeah.
What's the significance there?
Well, so we know from the work that ASARCO did in 1979 that the barite content of the rock is about 13%. Calico is a pure silver deposit. It's about 100 grams of silver sitting at surface. Only silver, but there's a 13% credit to barite in the rock, and barite is a weighting agent used in the oil and gas industry, and 95% of the U.S.'s domestic use is imported from China, so it's on their critical list. And if we produce a compliant resource, then we've got a bargaining chip with the U.S. government, which might help us to get some water. And that's a longer story we don't have time for here, but suffice to say that we'll get some political play from establishing the barite resource.
Now, still with Calico, you're also working on a mapping and sampling program ahead of drilling, and you've got gold mineralization that you want to explore there.
Yeah, there's a 110 million measured and indicated ounces of silver in the primary deposit. There's another 60 million inferred in the adjoining deposit. So 170 million ounces of silver really there. But when we did the last resource, it pulled a pit of 70,000 ounces of gold at a half a gram to the south of the silver deposit. And we know there's a gold formation that daylights. We've seen gold grades up to 200 grams on surface. So we know there's more gold there. We just don't know how much. So yeah, do a program, see if it warrants following up with some drilling. Even though we're a silver company, the gold still has some good value. So why not?
Okay, so with Cinco de Mayo, there's a new elected government in the region where Cinco de Mayo is located. You want to get the surface rights, and you're saying that this is a process, and it could be a real binary event for the company. Could you explain that?
Yeah. Apollo has a market cap of about $62.5 million. Now I'm kind of getting specific, but call it low 60s market cap. Take off the cash that's in the bank of 12.5, 13 million. You're left with an enterprise value of 50 million. All that's underwritten by the assets in San Bernardino. So Cinco, this option on Cinco de Mayo, which is another massive silver deposit, it's 155 million ounces of silver equivalent and some. You get the chance at that for free. We took the option on Cinco from Mag Silver. And Mag was asked to leave the property back in 2012. So for 13 years, no one's been able to get at it. In fact, the local government banned mining there for 100 years. And that's what we're trying to change. And so with the on December 13th, there was a new government elected. We understand they're pro-mining, pro-development. We're having discussions with them about going to the entire community and having a vote of overturning the mining ban, and then accepting an economic proposal from us to go back to work at Cinco and provide them jobs, education, training, investment in the community. They struggle with water, we'll help them with water. So that's the plan.
So are you confident, hopeful that you'll have a positive result there, overturning a 100-year ban?
Well, 6 years ago, I founded Prime Mining. And some of your followers will know Prime. It's also in Western Mexico. It also had social license problems. We were able to buy it for about $9 million from a company that didn't think they were going to get on the ground or found an easier place to go to work. And we spent 9 months, after we bought it, we spent 9 months fixing the social problems there. And now we drill 40 to 60,000 meters every year there. We've got 50 employees in the community, and now it's a 3 million ounce gold deposit. And I suspect that the future's bright for Prime. And so what the team did there, we're now going to do at Cinco de Mayo.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Now, on the finance side, Andy, the company recently raised nearly $14 million in a private placement that was upsized. How would you describe the demand for that? Because we know how many companies complain about such a lousy market for raising money. And what are you going to do with the money?
The money was easy to raise. We've got a really good share registry and some big silver investors in the company. As insiders, we own a significant amount of the company. And so we could have raised probably twice that if we wanted to. We didn't want to, just because it would have been too much dilution at too low of a price. So, and we believe that once we restore Cinco de Mayo, we get a much bigger market cap, and then we'll go raise some more money. But that money will keep this company in good stead for 3 years at our current rate. So the work in California, the social work in Mexico, and if we get social license restored, then we're going to start a drilling program in Mexico, and we can afford that right now too. So,
okay. So, lastly, Andy, sum it up for us. What's your usual 30-second pitch to investors to make the company stand out?
2 great mining assets in 2 jurisdictions, the U.S. and in Mexico. Got your arms around 400 million ounces of silver. You got a management team and a board that have done this before. We're very good stewards of public capital. We're well financed. We're going to get a lot of support from the banks and the brokerage firms, and I guess the last thing I would say is that, like, I've been doing this for 35 years, and I've had 2 $6 stocks. I mean, I start them in pennies. I've had 2 $6 stocks, 2 $5 stocks, and a whole bunch of them in between. And I think this one's the best one yet.
Really? That says a lot.
Yeah.
All right. Great stuff. We'll be following.
Super.
Nice to meet you.
Thank you.
All right. Good stuff. Andy Bowering. He is chairman and interim CEO at Apollo Silver.